Hello everyone, this is Megha Patel, Assistant Professor in Chemistry, working in Padma Bhushan Dr. Vasantrao Dada Patil Mahavidyalaya, Tasgaon. Dear students, we are going to learn the topic Solution from Physical Chemistry of semester 5th of the course BSc 3rd year. So let's start with solution. First, we will see what are the solutions, the component present in that solutions, what is solute, solvent, and what is the concentration of that solution, and how to measure that concentration in different ways. First, we will see what are the components of solutions. When we put a sugar into water, it dissolves completely, right? Until that sugar does not dissolve in that solution or in that solvent, that is water, we may add that sugar into the solution of water, or we may add that sugar into solvent. Like sugar, there are another examples or another compounds which are able to soluble in that sugar, like salt, potassium chloride, copper sulfate, detergent powder. So there are number of compounds which are able to soluble in that water. After mixing that compounds into water, whatever we will get, that product is called as a solution. Okay. In all that solutions, water acts as a solvent and all that compounds are acts as a solute. That is, solute and solvents are the components of the solution. Means those compounds which we want to dissolve into water or dissolve into solvent, that compounds are called as a solute, and in that solvent in which we want to dissolve that solute is called as a solvent. So there are two parts of that solution, that is solute and solvent. These two are the components of that solution. Means components are the compound which are present in the solutions are called as components. Means collectively solute and solvent are the components of that solution. Okay, means if we dissolve salt into water, in that case salt and water are the components of that solution, and that solution is called as a two component solution. While if we mix salt, sugar, lemon and water, in that case there are four compounds which we dissolve into the water. In that case it is a four component solution. Am I right? Means all those chemical compounds which are the part of solution are called as collectively called as a solution. So solution is a mixture of solute and solvent. So this is the equation of solute and solvent. So this is the equation of solution, that is solute plus solvent is equal to solution. Solutions can be classified into two types, homogeneous solution and heterogeneous solution. Homogeneous means if we get a clean and clear solution after mixing different components, in that case the solution is called as a homogeneous solution. After mixing the components, if we get two different layers or different layers in the solution, in that case that solution is called as a heterogeneous solution. For example, if we dissolve salt into water, and if we have a glass of water, and if while we add 1 spoon of sugar into that glass of water, we will get a solution, or we will get a homogeneous solution of sugar into water. In same glass, if we add oil, a little amount of oil, and rinse that solution for a few minutes, then that oil dissolve in a little extent into that solution. After some time, that solution, if we keep that glass of water or glass of that solution for some time, then we observe that two layers are formed in that solution. It is the heterogeneous solution. So solutions are classified into two types, homogeneous and heterogeneous. Solvent is the component of that solution which is present in same physical state of the solution. Means we take the example of sugar and water. In that case, sugar acts as a solute and water acts as a solvent. After mixing that sugar into water and after formation of the solution, the physical state of solution is liquid, while water physical state of water is also liquid. Means in that case water which acts as a solvent and the solution which is the mixture of solute and solvent, both are present in same physical state. While solute is the part of solution or solute is the component which may or may not be present in same physical state of solution. Means in case of sugar solution, before addition of sugar into water, that sugar present in solid form. After addition of that sugar into water, that solid sugar converts into liquid form, but before addition it was in solid state. Means sugar or any solution before adding that solute into solvent, the nature or the physical state of that solute may or may not be same as a solution or physical state of solution. Okay, is it clear? Solution is the mixture of solute and solvent, and the physical state of solute is different, may be different than solution, but the physical state of solvent is similar to solution. Now let's see what is the concentration of the solution. In case of sugar solution, if we have a glass of water and in that glass if we add a spoon of sugar, after mixing that sugar into that water, taste of that water becomes sweet. Means there are some properties which are depends on the amount of solute, not amount of solvent. Those properties which are depends on amount of solute in that solution, that property is called as a concentration, and that concentration can be measured in different ways such as molarity, molality, normality, mole fraction and percentage. Molarity, for the determination of concentration in the form of molar, we need to take the ratios of number of moles present in that number of moles of solute present in the solution to the total volume of the solution, right? Molarity is the number of moles of solute present in solution or number of moles of solute dissolved per liter of the solution. Means if we have a 1 liter solution, any solution, in that 1 liter solution, how many numbers of moles of that solute present, that is called as a molar concentration, right? Now let's see how to calculate this molar concentration. So I have already explained it is the ratio of number of moles to the volume of the solution which is in per liter. Okay. So capital M is the abbreviation for molar concentrations, right? Where see here, this is the equation for molar concentration. Capital M is equal to N upon V, while capital M is the abbreviation for molar concentration. Small n is the abbreviation for number of moles, you know that, and capital V is the abbreviation for volume of the solvent, right? Take the example, if we have 2 molar of solution of sulfuric acid, it is represented as 2 capital M H2SO4. It indicates it is a 2M indicates that solution contain 2 molecules of H2SO4 per liter, right? 2 molecules of H2SO4 per liter, and that M is the molarity. So how it is prepared? It is prepared by adding 2 moles of H2SO4 in 1 liter solution. Means if we want to prepare 2 molar H2SO4 solution, we need to take volumetric flask of 1 liter, and in that volumetric flask we need to add 2 molecules of H2SO4, and after adding 2 molecules of H2SO4 we need to dilute this solution with solvent, that is water, up to the mark of that volumetric flask. Okay, means up to the mark we need to add water in that solution. After completion of this dilution, whatever we will get, that product is called as a 2 molar H2SO4 solution, which is the mixture of H2SO4 and water, and in that case H2SO4 acts as a solute because it is present in low amount, and water acts as a solvent because it is present in large amount. Well, molarity is a concentration of that solution which depends on physical state. Physical conditions are effects on that molarity. For example, temperature and pressure affects on the concentration of concentration of solution. Means if we change the temperature and pressure of that solution, the concentration become different or become varied. For example, if we prepared 2 molar H2SO4 at 30 degrees centigrade temperature, after some time we first we take the volumetric flask, then we need to add 2 molecules of H2SO4, and up to the mark we will dilute that solution. It will become a 2 molar solution at 30 degrees centigrade. And if we increase the temperature of the same solution, means automatically if we increase the temperature of environment, or automatically temperature of the environment become variate from a variate, so temperature of the environment become 40 degrees centigrade. What will happen? The solution which is present in volumetric flask, as environmental temperature increases, the distance between water molecule become increases, and that water molecule become try to evaporate at 40 degrees centigrades. Means distance between the molecule become increases, but in same case what we did, we dilute that solution up to the mark, but after increasing temperature, the solution volume, we will observe volume of the solution become increase, but we need to take up to the mark of that volumetric flask. Means again volume, total concentration of that solution become change, and it may be decreases. Therefore temperature affects on the concentration or affects on molar concentration, right? And if we change the pressure of that system, if we increase the pressure of that system, what will happen? The distance between water molecule become decreases. So we for dilution or for up to the mark dilution, we need to add extra water. Means again water, amount of water become increases, and as compared to amount of water, number of solid molecule become decreases, again concentration increases, right? Means physical conditions are effects on the concentration or effects on the molar concentration, because unlike the mass, volume of the system depends on the volume of the system changes with physical conditions. Mass does not changes, or mass does not affects on the physical condition. Let's take the example. A solution prepared by bubbling 1.56 grams of hydrochloric acid, and the volume of solution is 26.8 ml. Then calculate the molarity of the solution. See here, we have a weight of solute, right? We have a weight of solute and it is 1.56 gram. And for calculation of molarity, we need to take the number of moles of that solute, right? Means in this example, first we need to convert that weight into number of moles. Volume of the solution is 26.8 ml. But to calculate the molar concentrations, we need to take the volume of that solvent in liter. We need to do two calculations. We need to convert that solute into number of, or we need to convert the weight of solute into number of moles, and we need to convert the milliliter into liter. So now see how to convert that weight into number of moles. We know that how to calculate number of moles. Number of moles, it don't have any number of moles, is the ratio of weight upon molecular weight. Okay, in this case we have a weight, we don't know number of moles. We also know the molecular weight of HCl or molecular weight of solute. Means in this case number of moles, N is equal to weight upon molecular weight. There are three functions: number of moles, molecular weight and weight. So we know molecular weight of compound, number of weight of compound. By using these two values, we can easily calculate number of moles of that compound. right? Means N is equal to weight upon molecular weight. So N means weight is 1.56 divided by molecular weight. What is the molecular weight of HCl? In case of HCl, there is a one hydrogen atom and one chlorine atom, right? And the molecular, we need to calculate molecular weight of HCl. So what is the atomic number of hydrogen? 1. And the molecular weight of hydrogen is also 1, because how molecular weight is the summation of number of protons and number of electrons, while atomic weight is the number of electrons, right? But in case of hydrogen, there is an absence of protons, therefore molecular weight and atomic weight of hydrogen is the same and it is 1. But in case of chlorine, atomic number of chlorine is 17 and the molecular weight of chlorine is 35.5, because in any atom, number of protons and number of electrons are same. Therefore, summation of number of proton and number of electron for chlorine is 35.5. Therefore, molecular weight of HCl is 1 plus 35.5, that is 36.5. While in case of molecular weight of water, there are 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom, and the molecular weight of water is 18. So if we take the ratio of weight upon molecular weight, means 1.56 upon 18, whatever we will get answer, that answer is the number of moles, and the answer is 4.27 into 10 raised to minus 2 moles. Okay, means number of moles are 4.27 into 10 raised to minus 2. Here they give volume of solvent is 26.8 ml. So we need to convert that 26.8 ml into liter. So how to convert milliliter to liter? For the conversion of milliliter to liter, we need to divide 1000 to that number. Means if we divide the 26.8 divided by 1000, whatever we will get answer, that answer is in the form of liter. So answer is the 2.68 into 10 raised to minus 2 liter. Okay, and if we take the ratios of number of moles and volume, which is converted into liter, the answer is in the form of molar concentration, and the answer is 1.59. Therefore, the concentration of that solution, or molar concentration of that solution, is 1.59 molar. Okay, let's move towards the molality. Okay, molality is the ratio of number of moles of solute to 1 kilogram of the solvent. Means number of moles of solute present in 1 kilogram of solvent is called as a molar concentration. Okay, already I have explained molarity is depends on the physical conditions, and to overcome that problem, we need, if we prepare concentration in the form of weight, that concentration will does not depends on any physical condition, because mass does not depends on the physical condition, or mass does not variate with physical conditions. Therefore, if we take, or if we express the concentration in the molar form or in the weight form of solvent, then that concentration become more correct than previous. Therefore, in molar concentration, we take the ratios of, or we take the number of moles of solute with respect to per kilogram of the solvent. Means the formula, and the small m is the abbreviation for molality, and the formula is m is equal to number of moles, that is n upon 1 kilogram of solvent, that is kg, right? So how to prepare the solution of molar? Because here we need to take the weight, of solvent. So if we want to prepare 2 molar H2SO4 solution, okay, now for the preparation of 2 molar H2SO4 solution, we need to take the weight of that solvent. So what will we do? First we will take volumetric flask, and we keep that volumetric flask on the balance, and we neutralize the weight of that balance, or weight of that volumetric flask. Okay, now the weight of that, we neutralize weight of that volumetric flask. Okay, and if we add 2 moles of H2SO4 into the volumetric flask, so whatever weight will display on that weight balance, it is the weight of 2 molar H2SO4. Okay, now we want to prepare solution 1 kilogram, means up to that, means that balance will show the weight 1 kg. Till that point we need to add water. In this case we will not see the where is the mark on that volumetric flask, but we will see what is the weight of that balance, or what is the weight displayed on that balance. Till 1 kilogram we will add that water. So from this way we can prepare molar solutions. Physical conditions does not affects on that molar concentration. Therefore, it is a better than molarity. Now let's move towards the normality. Okay, normality is a different concept for the calculation of normal. Normality is number of gram equivalent of solute per liter of the solution. Here we take equivalent weight, and equivalent weight is the number. Equivalent weight of any compound is the number which is similar to molecular weight or atomic weight. So atomic weight and molecular weight don't have a unit. Equivalent weight also don't have a unit. But if we take that equivalent weight in the form of gram, then it is called as a gram equivalent weight. Okay. Now problem is that how to calculate equivalent weight of the compound. Okay. The equivalent weight of the compound is atomic or molecular weight divided by valency of the compound. Okay, or in case of acid, for calculation of equivalent weight of acid, we need to take the ratios of molecular weight upon basicity of that acid. Means if we have a HCl acid, so in HCl there is a one hydrogen atom present, or one H plus ion is there, and that H plus ion is able to neutralize one OH minus ion or one ion of base. Okay, means HCl is a one molecule of HCl is able to neutralize one molecule of base, and therefore acid basicity of that HCl is a 1. So in case of acid, for the calculation of equivalent weight, ratio of atomic molecular weight divided by acidity is need to take. Okay, or in case of base, base means, for example, if we take the NOH, NOH is a base and there are two ions, Na plus and OH minus ion. Okay, that OH minus ion is able to neutralize one H plus ion. Therefore, acidity of that NOH is a 1. So in case of NOH, equivalent weight of NOH is the atomic molecular weight of NOH divided by acidity of that NOH. Okay, or in case of a salt, for example NaCl, salt is able to react that compound, it is a neutral, and as compound varies, the valency of salt is also varies. In case of NaCl, valency of that Na is +1, or in case of Na2CO3, valency of that Na is +2. Means as compounds varies or as salts varies, valency of the salt is also varies. So for the preparation of salt solution or normal solutions of salt, we need to take the ratios of molecular weight divided by valency of that compound in the that means in case of NaCl, we need to take the ratio of molecular weight of NaCl divided by valency of NaCl. Valency of Na is 1, Cl is also 1, divided by valency of the that salt in that solution. See here, this is the formula for calculation of normality, and it is a ratio of number of gram equivalent of solute to the volume of the solution in liter. Okay, means here we take the gram equivalent of weight and volume of solvent in liter. For example, if we want to prepare 0.5 normal KMnO4 solution, for the preparation of 0.5 normal KMnO4 solution, there is a 0.5 gram equivalent weight of KMnO4 is need to dissolve in water till that solution become 1 liter by volume. So how to calculate normality? Now let's see the calculation of normality in titrations, because in our laboratory there are number of experiments which are related to titration, and we need to calculate or we need to find out unknown concentrations in the form of normal during that titration. Okay, now see here how to calculate different normalities or different. See here, titration is the process of gradual addition of solution of known concentration and volume with another solution of unknown concentration. Okay, and until the reaction approaches its neutralization. Means till neutralization point, we need to add the solution from burette, which is of known concentration, into the solution of unknown concentration. Okay. So how to find out the normality of unknown concentration? Here we need to take the relation N1 V1 is equal to N2 V2. So how we can calculate unknown concentration? And suppose here N1 is the normality of acidic solution, or normality of, in case of acid base titration, N1 is the normality of acid solution, V1 is the normality of acid solution, N2 is the normality of basic solution, and V2 is the volume of basic solution. The equation of normality that helps to estimate the volume of solution required to prepare a solution of different normalities, and it is given by N1 V1 is equal to N2 V2. Okay, suppose four different solutions with the same solute of normality, means same solutes of normality, and volumes are mixed. Okay, therefore resultant normality is NaVa, means normality of first solution, volume of first solution, plus NbVb, means normality of another solution, volume of another solution, plus NcVc, normality of third solution, volume of third solution, plus NdVd, means normality of fourth solution, volume of fourth solution, divided by total volume of the solution, means V1 plus V, means Va plus Vb plus Vc plus Vd. Let's say example, here I want to mix 10 ml of 0.1 normal of 10 ml of 0.1 normal HCl and 20 ml of 0.2 normal HCl, 30 ml of 0.3 normal HCl, and 40 ml of 0.5 normal solution. If we mix these four solutions and form a resultant solution, the total volume of resultant solution become 90 ml. But what is the normality of that 90 ml solution? Because we mix different concentrations of solution. So what is the normality of resultant solution? So by using above formula, we can calculate the normality of resultant solution. So here I have solved this answer. The total answer is 0.1088, means normality of resultant solution is near about 0.1. Now let's move towards the mole fraction. Mole fraction is the mole fraction of component in solution is the ratio of its number of moles to the total number of moles of all compounds present in that solvent. Solution of NaCl. Okay, we have one normal solution of NaCl. So for the preparation of one normal solution, we take 1 gram equivalent of that solvent, of that NaCl. So in 1 gram equivalent weight of that solute, how much amount of NaCl was there? Okay, first we need to calculate how much amount of that NaCl. So it is in the form of weight. Okay, and if we get weight, we know the molecular weight. So by taking the ratios of weight and molecular weight, we can easily calculate number of moles of that NaCl. If we want to calculate the mole fraction of NaCl in that solution, and we need to calculate the number of moles of NaCl, similar number of moles of solvent by using same experiment. Means if we have a 1 liter solution of NaCl, in that NaCl amount of number of moles of NaCl, if we neglect the amount of that NaCl, remaining amount is for water, and by using that amount we can calculate number of moles of water in that case. So by taking the ratio of N1 upon N1 plus N2, means by taking the ratios of number of moles of solute divided by total number of moles of solution, we will easily get the mole fractions of that NaCl. Percentage solution. In different experiments such as polarity, there is a need to take the solutions in different percentage forms. Okay, in polarity experiments, we need to take different percent solutions, means 2%, 4%, 6%, 8%. But after preparation of that percent solutions, nature of that all solutions become same. Okay, so after that formation of that solutions, we can differentiate what is the concentration or what is the percentage of that solution. But by testing the taste of that solution, we can easily find out that percentage of the solution. Okay, now how to prepare that percent solution. So percent solution is the mass of that solute present in 100 gram of the solvent. For the formation of normality, molarity, we take 1 liter or 1 kilogram. But here we take 100 gram of the solvent. Amount of solute present in the form of weight or amount of solute in the form of gram per 100 gram of the water is the percent solution. Means for the preparation of 2% sugar solution, we need to dissolve 2 gram sugar into 100 gram of till the 100 gram of the water. Okay, in this lecture we discuss about normality, molality, mole fraction and percent solution, how to prepare different concentrations of the solutions, what is the concentration of solution and what is the solution, what are the components, what is the solute and what is the solvents. Get an idea about the solution and how to prepare different concentrations of solution. Now I am looking forward you will able to prepare different concentrations of the solution when you will doing experiments in your laboratory.